Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. This is a different kind of video today, as you may or may not have been able to tell from the title. It's not really a floss tube video. I'm not doing an update today, though I will show you what I'm currently stitching on today, just because I can, just so that you guys know that I am still stitching. There's kind of a few things to talk about in this video. But first I'll kind of just briefly talk about the retreat that I went on that I'm not sure if I even mentioned in my old videos, because I honestly, from one day to another, time is just, I don't even know right now. But I was at a stitching retreat this past weekend in Prince Edward Island, Canada, and I had a fantastic time. I met the most amazing people. I was given goodies, and we went out for beaver tails, and just, I mean, when we floss tubers say that the stitching community is like the best community that there could be, like that 100% is true. I got some new patterns, some freebies that I picked up and things like that. And I mean, people are just generous. Stitchers are generous. That's just the truth. And so I was very, thankful to have been gifted a few little goodies. And yeah, so it was a fantastic weekend. 2/3 days, not nearly long enough, but I am going to go back next year. That is a goal. I'm going to start saving now, and I'm going to, maybe start selling off some of my stash so I can come up with some money so that I can go next year. So yeah, just retreat stuff. It was great. We went to the beach. All of our meals were done up for us, and yeah. So if any of the ladies that were at the retreat watch my videos or have come across this video, it was great getting to know everybody and to see everything that everybody was working on. Fantastic stuff. So that's that retreat. Good stuff, fun stuff, awesome, going again. And the main topic of this video is to more or less say that my floss tube channel is stopping. Permanently, I'm not 100% sure, but as of today, which is the 25th of July 2025, I am ceasing to make content for my channel. This might be until the new year. It might be another year or two from now, and I might never make another video. I'm not really sure. And the reason why I'm saying this is because right now, and with the past couple of years since I've moved to Nova Scotia, things have just not been great, shall we say. For those of you who are new to my channel, might not have known what's happened in 2022, in and around this time of month, my great aunt passed away. It was she died the day after her birthday, which would have been yesterday. So I think that's been a year now, or no, not a year. It's been 3 years since she's gone. I do believe her birthday was the 23rd of July. I think. Oh my God, she's my great aunt and I can't even remember. I am the worst with dates, okay? Birthdays, all that stuff. I'm terrible with it. Anyway, she passed away in 2022, and then that same year in December, just before Christmas, my father died. And then, so in between those two deaths, we moved from Ontario to Nova Scotia, and that was a whole thing. Hard to acclimate to a whole new place, not having, leaving all your friends and family and stuff behind, so that was difficult. And so, trying to come to terms with life without my dad and my great aunt, and trying to help my mom at the time kind of survive without my dad while I wasn't even in the same province as her was very hard. And I carried a lot with that as well. And so there's, in the grand scheme of things, when my dad died and when my great aunt passed away, I probably should have been in grief counseling. But, being in a whole new place, and I've always thought that I could carry the burdens of these things and be fine. And other lies we tell ourselves. But things started to kind of get better for a while. After my dad died, my mom started to get better. She seemed to be, when I talked to her on the phone, she seemed to be better. Things were going really well. And my now husband and I had gotten engaged, and we were planning a wedding and all that stuff. And then we got married last year, the 14th of September. And before that, my mom had fallen ill and was in hospital and had been on life support. So going into my wedding last year, I knew that my mom was on limited time. If that's, I say limited time, but I feel like because she was on life support, she could have had all the time that the machines would have given her, which, so, and when it was time, when after we got married, my husband and I drove to Ontario to meet with my brother and, the doctors and stuff at the hospital and go over what we were going to do with her, because at that point in time there was no neurological signs from my mom. So there was, and then we had paperwork of hers stating that if it come to a situation where she was unable to breathe on her own, do these things on her own, and she would essentially be confined to a bed the rest of her life. She didn't want that kind of life. And so she did not want machines to keep her alive. And so my brother and I were the ones that had to ultimately make the decision to take her off of her life support 2 days after we got married. Because my brother and I both got married on the same day, if that, which was weird. But, you're freshly married. You can't even think about a honeymoon. And you have to take you have to go to the hospital and take your mother off of life support. So that was so hard. And I want to, there's times where I know I kind of played it off like it wasn't a big deal, but it really was, and it ate away on me for weeks. And so, that's been difficult. And for those of you that don't know, both my parents, I lived with them for 33 years of my life, and they were alcoholics, hardcore alcoholics. And so living with them was rough, as a child and growing up into adulthood and things like that. It was very difficult. And so their loss was, my dad worked away from home a lot. I only got to see him once or twice a month for a day or two. So, I didn't get to see my dad a lot, growing up or as I was getting older. But my mom took all the responsibility of, paying the bills and doing all these things. And, it was just a difficult life. So now that both my parents are gone, it's been difficult for me, which is kind of strange. You would think that, losing two parents that were alcoholics would kind of help you feel free of things. But I don't know if that's the case for me. There's a part of me that's like, I don't even know who I'm meant to be without them in my life. I don't know what my life is meant to look like without being attached to two alcoholics. The phone calls and the middle of the night, the arguments, all of those things that would happen. It's been so weird trying to adjust to a life where that's not part of my day-to-day anymore. Stress was just something that I was so accustomed to. And yeah, it's been different. And there's other parts of my life now that are causing stress, and I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is I'm trying to do the best that I can now to shed any part of my life that could be causing me any form of stress. And so floss tube is one of those things that just, it's part of that. And it's not that I don't love doing floss tubes, because of course I do. I love it. I love showing what I'm working on with you guys. I love sharing it. But it's the stress of making sure you have all your projects together and that you're making sure you're showing everything, and then it's the stress of putting everything away when you're done, and then it's the stress of making sure you've got time to edit and to upload and to all of that stuff. It's just a stress, and my home has been a stress, which is strange. I mean, we moved from Ontario, we brought so much stuff with us, and we do live in a kind of small home. And the more I'm living in this home, the more, I'm getting kind of tired of, shuffling clutter around and not knowing, having my dining room table full of crap all the time, and not knowing where to go with things, and just, opening my closets and things are just falling out or in piles, and just because I haven't taken the time to deal with any of it. My life has felt so chaotic that it's just been, I'll throw it over there and I'll deal with it later, because I just don't want to deal with it now. And so I've been kind of going through this ruthless decluttering process in my house, where I want to get rid of like 90% of the things I own, because I'm tired of the stuff. I'm tired of looking at stuff. I'm tired of cleaning stuff. And it's just, and the other part of FlossTube is, for me, is, you see all these videos and you see all these beautiful projects and you're like, oh, I really want to stitch that. That's really pretty. I really want to do that. But you've got a whole pile of stuff already here that I've started or haven't started, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm just accumulating more stuff and adding to the stress. I'm adding more to the pile of stuff that I don't really need. I'm trying right now so hard in this new phase of my life to be happy with less. I want to focus on my husband and our life together and our dog, and making sure that we all have all three, and the cats, and we have a life that we're living where we're happy and we're content, and we're not feeling stressed and anxious. That's really become a great value to me. I value the slow moments. I value, sitting outside on my front porch watching traffic go by and just enjoying being outside, feeding my birds. My blue jays come by every morning for peanuts. I feed them every day, and that brings me joy. I'm trying so hard right now to find joy in simple things, because growing up, I was never able to do that. I was never in a state of calm enough to enjoy anything remotely relaxing. And so that's really where I want to be right now, is focusing on myself. I've gained a lot of weight in the last couple of years, and I'm sure that's all just been stress. And so I want to lose some weight, but I know I won't be able to lose weight until I can get my stress and everything else under control first. Because when you're stressed, makes things kind of out of whack with your body. You don't sleep right. You don't, all those things. You binge eat, all that stuff. So I really want to get that under control. I want to get my health under control. Not that I'm ill or there's anything wrong with me. I just want to make sure that I continue to stay in good health. So it's my values are changing. The things that I find important are changing, and I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that. And I think it's good that I've, picked up on the fact that I need something different. I need to change the way I'm living my life, because the way I've been living it up until now hasn't been working, and it's just been stressful and upsetting for me. Yeah, I don't want that to come across as poorly for you guys, because you know, like I said, I have in the past enjoyed these lawsuit videos so much, and I still do enjoy watching everyone else. But I think, you know, taking a step back from the community would be a good thing for me. Not that I would take like this huge step back or anything. I just, you know, I just can't make videos anymore. You know, I still have Instagram. I'll still probably post on there every once in a while, but I'm not going to make it like a priority to be posting once a day or once a week or anything like that. I'll post when I feel like posting. And yeah, I'm just getting kind of tired, in all honesty. And maybe that does mean that I need some counseling again, but I don't know. I've just, you know, I've been kind of trying to job hunt, and that hasn't been going very well. And so I'm just wanting to focus on different things right now, mostly myself, because, you know, for so long I haven't been able to focus on just me. I've always had to focus on, you know, my parents and what they're doing and how they were affecting me, and stuff. So, yeah, focusing on myself and making sure that I'm comfortable with my life and I'm comfortable in my home. Those are my priorities. And yeah, so I know it really sucks. I know you guys like to watch me, but that's just what's happening right now. That's just where I'm at. But like I said, I'm still stitching. I'm, you know, might start being like a one project at a time stitcher, just to help release bleh, now I can't even English, relieve the stress of having too many things on the go. And because birds are so up there for me right now, I'm working on this Letty Stitch kit called Springtime Songbirds. It's really, really pretty. And yeah, it's very muted because my camera is like, I don't know what the lighting situation is right now in my room, but that's what we're working on. And I started this over the weekend when I was at the retreat. And that's where I am right now. So I've been working pretty hard on that cardinal, and he's coming along nice. But this is going to be my focus piece for the next several weeks probably. So if you're on my Instagram, keep an eye out for that on my Instagram. But yeah, I'm going to leave comments open on this for a little while. So feel free to leave a message down below if that's what you wish to do. And if at any point things start getting negative or rude, then I'll turn comments off. But yeah, I really hate to do this, guys, but it is for the betterment of myself and my mental state. So I really, really appreciate you guys having been here up until this point. And I really hope that at some point I do feel well enough to come back and to continue doing videos. I just couldn't tell you when that's going to be. I'm not giving myself any length of time. I just want to do what feels right for me. And I don't expect anybody to really fully understand. I don't even expect my husband to understand. Like, if he knew I was filming this right now, he'd be like, "What are you doing? Like, don't you post that on your website, your YouTube? You love doing your videos." I do. But when was the last time I posted one? When was the last time I felt happy enough to get all my stuff together and be really excited to show you guys, like, hey, look at this stuff? I haven't been. I haven't been excited. I haven't been myself. Like, it's just, yeah, I don't know. So again, yeah, guys, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me up until this point. And I really hope that I can come back in the future and I can come back as a better version of myself and can bring you guys some more exciting content. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm just going to try to get through the next couple of months and see how we go. And yeah, so I will definitely link my Instagram, my Instagram in the box below, so that you guys can follow me over there if you don't already, so that you can still keep up with some stitching content, because there will be some there, like I said, from time to time. And yeah, you guys just stay safe, take care of each other, and I'll hopefully see you again sometime.